Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist, and today I'm going to be doing a Kuriboh deck. So I'm really excited for this one because I've wanted to do this one ever since I started my channel, because I absolutely love Kuribohs. I think it's the most hilarious card in the entire game, and it's actually technically the first hand trap ever in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh, which is really, really cool. I love the way the Kuriboh is made, and I love the story behind it about it being the most pathetic card in Yu-Gi-Oh, but it's actually not. It's a really good card that can really help us out with link plays. So, without further ado, guys, let's get straight into this. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell there so you can become part of the notification squad. Definitely check out the links in the description where we have our Patreon and Ko-Fi so you guys can donate to the channel if you'd like to. And let's get straight on into this. So I'm excited for this one because we even have the tokens. This year at Christmas time, me and Savannah actually decided, or Scorpio Senpai, actually decided to buy the Advent calendars. And I bought 3 of the Advent calendars. I had this sitting around and I was like, man, I really want to build Kuribohs. And so I did. So, first off, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Kuriboh. So this card is a really, really old card. If you guys don't know, it came out in the original Duel Monsters and Metal Raider. It's that old. It came out in the second set of Yu-Gi-Oh! Ever. But during damage calculation, if your opponent's monster attacks, quick effect, you can discard this card. You take no battle damage from that battle. First hand trap ever in Yu-Gi-Oh! Then we play 3 copies of Wing Kuriboh, or as I call it, Winking Wing Kuriboh. Wing Kuriboh's effect is really interesting, it's a really interesting card. If this card on the field is destroyed and sent to the graveyard for the rest of the turn, you take no battle damage. Really interesting card, really good card for the deck, because basically this card revolves around a bunch of different cards that are in the deck that help us OTK our opponent even. So this card's extremely pivotal. We play 3 copies of Kuriboh Reborn. This card is a super interesting new-ish card that kind of went under the radar for a lot of people. But basically what this card does is at the end of the battle phase, you can discard this card, then target 1 monster in your graveyard that was destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard this turn and special summon it. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can banish this card from your graveyard and then target any number of Kuriboh monsters in your grave and special summon them, which is awesome. Anytime your opponent declares an attack, you just get to special summon 5 Kuribohs to your side of the field that can just really set your opponent back with different stuff that you might put on board. So this card is a really, really good 3 of in the deck. Highly recommend this card at 3. Then we play 2 copies of Rainbow Kuriboh. I only play 2 because I feel like it's just good as a 2 of. You can use its effect only once per turn, and then when an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can target that attacking monster and equip this card to it, and it cannot attack. And then when an opponent's monster declares a direct attack while this card's in your graveyard, special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. I personally think that this card is probably one of the best tech Kuribohs that you could put in any deck. It's just a good card to prevent your opponent from attacking. I used to play this in Lightsworns a long time ago. 2 copies of Reeling Kuriboh. Reeling Kuriboh is really a good card because if it's tributed, you get to draw a card. And if a monster would be destroyed by battle, you can banish from the graveyard instead. This card's really a good combo card with Link Kuriboh. Link Kuriboh is really interesting because when an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can tribute this card and then change that opponent's monster attack to 0 until the end phase of the turn. And if this card's in your graveyard, you can tribute a level 1 monster to special summon this card from the grave. So you just tribute Reeling Kuriboh, draw a card, and special summon your Link Kuriboh back. I play a single copy of Sphere Kuriboh. Sphere Kuriboh is just kind of here because it's a Kuriboh monster, and then when an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can send it from your hand to the graveyard and change the attacking monster defense position. 1 copy of Clear Kuriboh. Clear Kuriboh is an interesting Kuriboh that when an opponent's monster activates an effect that will inflict damage to you, you can discard it to negate the activation. And then when an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can banish this card from your grave, draw a card, and if it was a monster, you could special summon it. Then change the attack target to it, which is good too. I just play this as a 1-of because it's kind of situational. And I just feel like it's a good 1-of. You could probably put maybe 2 in here if you think you're going to play against a burn deck. I'd play it at 3, but that's kind of like the cool thing about Kuriboh is it's so, like, versatile. You could play this in a burn deck at 3 or side it against a burn deck at 3 and it would prevent you from taking burn damage from effect monsters. And then I play a single copy of the Performapal Kuriboh as well. The Performapal Kuriboh is an interesting new Kuriboh that was the face of the entire Advent calendar, and I love this card. When an opponent's monster declares a direct attack, you can special summon this card from your hand. If you do, change the attack target to this card, and then proceed to damage calculation. If you take battle damage from a battle, you gain that much life instead. I just played as a one-of in here because sometimes that just prevents one attack, but it's a good one-of in here. Then we play my MVP of the entire deck, and that is a single copy of Wing Kuriboh level 10. I have always wanted to play Wing Kuriboh level 10 in a deck, and you finally get to in a Kuriboh deck. Like, my dream came true, and I know somewhere little Kuriboh is like losing it. Shout outs to little Kuriboh. I hope he sees this video. It would make my day if he actually commented on this video like doodle la 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 or whatever the Kuriboh says. Like, I would legit lose it and screen cap that and keep it forever. That would be awesome. Guys, make that happen. But basically, this card's effect is that it cannot be normal summoned or set. It must be special summoned with the effect of Transcendent Wings. And during your opponent's battle phase, quick effect, you contribute this card, destroy as many attack position monsters your opponent controls as possible, and if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the combined original attack of those destroyed monsters. If your opponent has more than 8,000 damage on board, and you normal summon Wing Kuriboh and set Transcendent Wings, you're going to win if they don't stop it. Because all you do is tribute the Wing Kuriboh with Transcendent Wings, special summon this, and then tribute this, and then blow board. This card is so good in this deck, it's ridiculous, and I did not realize how good this card was going to be. I have won so many games of Wing Kuriboh level 10 just playing this. I'm thinking about getting an Ultimate Rare, but I really like having all the Advent Calendar cards. So for our kind of other boss monsters in the deck, we do play a Chaos Emperor Dragon and a copy of Blackluster Soldier, Envoy at the beginning. I play one of each because I think it's kind of cool to play one of each. If you don't want to play the Chaos Emperor Dragon, you can just play 2 BLS because everything's light and dark. It's really easy to summon BLS and Chaos Emperor Dragon, but I think it's really cool to play both, so I play both. And then we play 3 copies of Ash Blossom as well because we want to hand trap our opponent and not have to deal with our opponent, special summoning from deck and doing all sorts of shenanigans against us. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Super Polymerization. This card is absolutely crazy in this deck. If you have just a Kuriboh on your side of the field and your opponent summons a dark monster, you can go into Starving Wind Infusion Dragon, which is really crazy in this deck and really amazing. This card's really pivotal to being in this deck for countering your opponent for stuff. 3 copies of Called by the Grave because we don't want to get hand trapped. We want to hand trap our opponent. 1 copy of Foolish Burial. Foolish Burial helps us out with not Reeling Kuriboh, but Kuriboh Reborn or whatever it is. Kuri Reborn. This card's really, really good in the deck. 1 copy of Detonate. Detonate combos really well with Multiply because it destroys as many Kuriboh and Kuriboh tokens you control as possible and destroy that many cards your opponent controls up to the number of cards that were destroyed by this card's effect. I played as a one-of in here because I feel like it's just a good one-of because you can just flip it on your opponent's turn and you have to have Kuriboh, which kind of sucks, so I just played as a one-of in here. 1 copy of 1 for 1 because everything's a level 1. I mean, it's Kuribohs. 3 copies of Transcendent Wing. Transcendent Wing is so good in this deck. You guys are going to be like, man, he's playing Transcendent Wing. Let's not. But Transcendent Wing is good. You send a level 1 or lower, or level 1 face up or face down Wing Kuriboh you control to the grave, and 2 cards from your hand to the grave, which is a -4, but then you special summon a Wing Kuriboh level 10 from your hand or deck. That is really good because you just send the Wing Kuriboh during your opponent's battle phase because they're going to think, oh, he bricked. He has a 1 set and a Wing Kuriboh, and you just catch him completely off guard with Transcendent Wings. Or if they target either or of the Wing Kuriboh or the Transcendent Wings, you flip it and then bait them out with this to be able to go into other plays. Then we play 3 copies of Flute of Summoning Kuriboh because it is a Kuriboh deck. You either take a Wing Kuriboh or a Kuriboh and special summon it from your deck and add it to your hand or special summon it, which usually we're going to use Wing Kuriboh and put it on the field because we have Transcendent Wings set. And we're going to set 2 and pass and then look at our opponent and go, go. And if they don't have Twin Twister during battle phase, you flip this, then flip this after your resolves, and then you win. Then we play 3 copies of Multiply because it wouldn't be a Kuriboh deck without Multiply, and you can just link spam with Multiply so much that it's ridiculous. If you have a Kuriboh on your field, You can tribute it, special summon as many Kuriboh tokens onto your side of the field as possible, but they cannot be tributed for a tribute summon. That's the only downside. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to be playing, of course, 3 copies of Link Kuriboh. You can make all 3. It's really easy. It's just a level 1 monster that you have to send to the graveyard for the Link material to summon this card. It's a really good card. It's really pivotal with Real-In Kuriboh to be able to draw cards and be able to tribute the Real-In Kuriboh to put this back on the field. And it reduces monsters to 0, which really helps out being able to swing at them with your Kuribohs. 1 copy of Nightmare Cerberus to pop monsters. Phoenix to pop spells. 1 copy of Link Spider. Link Spider helps out with the tokens to have a different monster with a different name on the field, which can kind of help out. 1 copy of Beat Cop. Beat Cop is here for the tokens. That's the only reason I play her. 1 copy of Nightmare Unicorn to bounce monsters onto your side of the field, or your opponent's side of the field. 1 copy of Blackluster Soldier, Soldier of Chaos. You don't have to play this if you want to just play straight from the advent calendars and a little bit of tech cards to cut the cost down on the deck. You don't have to play this. I play this because I have it. You could play Decode Talker or something else in this position if you wanted to. Mech Knight Crusadia Avermax. Avermax is really good because it helps you OTK your opponent, and that's why we play the copy of Link Spider and the Beat Cop, is because it makes it a little easier to go into this card because you have to have 2 monsters special summon from the extra deck. So you can go into something like Link Spider and then link the Link Spider away with something else, like a Kuriboh on your side of the field for Nightmare Phoenix, pop something in the back row, link 2 the tokens away, summon Beat Cop, and have these 2 on the field, and then go for Mech Knight Crusadia Avermax if you wanted to go that route. 1 copy of Boral Sword Dragon just to help OTK, and then something that's kind of a cheeky play that we play in here is 1 copy of number 31, Embodiment of Punishment, and 1 copy of number 13, Embodiment of Crime. This is really good in here, surprisingly, because with the new Master Rule 5, you can make both of them extremely easily. Once per turn, during either player's turn, they both share the same effect. Once per turn, during either player's turn, you can detach a material from this card, change all monsters your opponent controls to face-up attack, and also all monsters your opponent controls must attack this turn. And must attack this card if able. And then while you control while you control both of them, they have the effect. This card cannot be destroyed by battle, and while it has XYZ materials, and your opponent takes any battle damage you would have taken from battles involving this card. They have 500 attack. This card is going to make it so your opponent has to attack both of these and OTK themselves off of your Embodiment of Crime and Punishment. It's extremely easy to put 4 level 1s on the field because all you have to do is use the Kuri Reborn to put 4 level 1s on the field and then overlay 4 of them into these 2 monsters and go from there. 1 copy of Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. Starving Venom Fusion Dragon is really good for super polymerization, and so is Mud Dragon. And that's it for the extra deck. Now we have one last section for this deck. We do have one last section, and the last section of this deck is the token section. So you've got to play the 5 Kuriboh tokens. You need to play the 5 Kuriboh tokens. I really wish I had 5 of these, but I didn't have 5 of these. I only had 4 of these, and I had 1 of this Kuriboh token, so we played all of these. It's kind of like your OG Kuriboh, and then these guys are all these. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. It's a really fun deck to play around with, and it's amazing that you can actually play a solid Kuriboh deck. I wish they had more spell and trap card like support, and definitely make that happen with little Kuriboh comments. Like, that would seriously like make my year. That would be absolutely nuts if you commented and like did something crazy for this video. So anyways, guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell next so you can become part of the notification squad, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See you around, guys.